Welcome back, guys. So today we got to talk about one that is pretty interesting and fairly serious. Nintendo being sued once again, or being investigated more precisely. So Nintendo is being investigated by the U.S. International Trade Commission, and who knows what's going to happen with that. So what is this about? Well, Game Vice, the little WikiPad creators, the guys who made these little controller attachments for tablets and smartphones, they're at it again. So last year, August, they filed a lawsuit against Nintendo saying, hey, they violated their patent on their attachable controllers, detachable, whatever you want to call it. And they later dropped that lawsuit in October of last year. Voluntarily, they dropped it. Not 100% the reason why, but now they're after Nintendo to stop the importing of Nintendo Switch units into the US. So they're hoping on the Tariff Act of 1930 being something they can use to their advantage and just plain stop us from having access to Nintendo Switches. But I think there's more to it than this. Nintendo's not unfamiliar with lawsuits. They've had lawsuits against them in the past that they've won and lost. They've had lawsuits that they have filed themselves, even very recently as well. Just in January, they filed a lawsuit against a Japanese game developer called, I believe, Kalapple. They make games for mobile, devices, and they have some kind of, touchscreen joystick action that Nintendo's seeking damages over $40 million, which sounds ridiculous because how many mobile games use that kind of technology? Come on now. So Nintendo's, they're guilty themselves of filing these strange lawsuits at times. And they previously did lose the one against, I believe it was iLife, with the Wiimotes. Back in the day, they, supposedly infringed on their patent with that kind of motion control, and they had to pay a sum of $10 million. So, kind of craziness. But now, Game Vice, it seems strange. Is this good for them? Is this good for Nintendo? Obviously it's not good for Nintendo, but would it be good for Game Vice for this product not to be available in the US anymore? No, I don't think it affects them any which way or another because it's Nintendo. People are going to buy Nintendo regardless. Nobody's going to be like, oh, Game Vice, they're the original people. They're the ones who created this technology. We're going to buy their crap instead. No, I don't think that's what this stems from. I think what they're hoping for is Nintendo to get scared and settle out of court, which I really don't think Nintendo will do. Nintendo's declined to comment on this. They typically don't comment on these kind of things, and I don't foresee them mentioning anything to do with this anytime soon. I think they know what they're going, how they're going to handle this. I don't think it's going to be something as simple as dropping some money to them. Not yet, anyway. I don't know how strong this is. I'm not a legal expert. But it just seems odd that if they filed a lawsuit back in August, dropped it 2 months later, what was the point of that? And they, like I said, they voluntarily dropped that lawsuit against Nintendo. So now maybe there was something they realized, like, hey, whatever the laws were, maybe it was such a thin line that they weren't going to win, and that this would be a better route to go to try to squeeze some of that sweet Nintendo Switch money and get that into their pockets. I think that might be more of the reason here. It just seems odd. What do you guys think on this? I honestly don't think we have anything to worry about. I don't think Nintendo will be halted into not selling the system or importing it. That's what it really is. They'd still be selling it. If this went through and the US and their investigation, which they're investigating, but they're more looking at, if it's a valid claim. They're not just straight okay, is Nintendo guilty or not guilty? I think they're more looking at it right now to see if it's a valid claim or not, which could go into more investigative procedures and what have you. But it would be a device if this Tariff Act of 1930 took effect to this, and Game Vice with their WikiPad nonsense won this suit, or the cease and desist is really what it is. They want the cease and desist. They want Nintendo to stop. They would still be selling this device in other countries. This would only affect the US. But like I said earlier, I don't think this is something that Game Vice would monetarily benefit from just because Nintendo stopped selling their product in the States. This is the biggest market, you know, just because we have so many damn people here. They sell a ton of Nintendo Switches, ton of Nintendo products in the US, so that definitely would harm Nintendo, but it wouldn't benefit Game Vice. So that's why I think all this is some kind of fear-mongering pressure towards Nintendo to get them to settle out of court, to say, hey, we'll give you whatever, you know, undisclosed amount of money. We'll give that to you to just drop this, to say we're good, no, you know, we're settled. I think that's really what this is about. So one way or another, Nintendo wins, Nintendo loses, investigation continues, the investigation is dropped. Whatever the case may be, I'm pretty positive there will be no effect on the US as far as Nintendo Switch and games being brought in and sold here. It just seems ridiculous. It's a thing that whenever somebody has some kind of success, there's going to be those people out there trying to get their money out of it. And is this claim valid? You know, with the device and whatnot, with the way the patents work on exactly how these devices work. I think Nintendo's controllers, the Joy-Cons, don't work exactly the same as the Game Vice, the WikiPad controllers. You know, I mean, it just seems like a crazy world that we live in. If I decided to make a device and have attachable and detachable controllers, would Nintendo come after me? Maybe. I mean, who knows? How many people have made devices, you know, Sony making the Vita with a touchscreen? Did Nintendo sue them for making a portable with a touchscreen? No, but where's the line drawn on this kind of nonsense? It's all about that money, right? That's all I can think of, is these guys just want that chunk of money that Nintendo has made, and that's where it's at. So that's all I really wanted to talk about today. What are your thoughts on this? Is Nintendo doomed? Is the US just going to be out and Nintendo's going to have to create a Nintendo Switch without detachable controllers? I mean, could that be the solution to this problem? A Nintendo Switch that just has the controllers built in? I mean, then you would lose some of the features of the system with certain games playing, you know, with the controllers unattached. But that's kind of part of it too, is like the Game Vice, it's just controllers that attach to a handheld, to a tablet or a phone, and that you play like that. I'm not too familiar with the WikiPad. I've seen reviews and people talking about it and saying they were garbage. I don't have any first-hand experience. It could be the most amazing things in the world. I don't know, but I don't play games on a tablet. I don't play games on my phone. I mean, yeah, I did play Pokemon Go, what, a year or two ago, whenever the hell it came out. That was kind of fun for a minute. A minute, seriously. But besides that, I don't play mobile games, so this is not a product I would have any experience with. But with Nintendo's device, it's like these controllers do so much more, and they're used in a bunch of different ways than I would imagine this WikiPad was used. This just seems like a standard controller. Like, you know, a lot of these Chinese companies make controllers that expand and retract, and you could put a tablet in there, or you can put a phone in there, or, you know, the Game Sirs with the little, whatever the hell you call it, the little clip that pops up and can hold your phone and you could play. Wouldn't that be kind of like a patent infringement as well? Like, hey, you know, this is a device that can be attached to a mobile phone or tablet. Wouldn't it be in the same vein anyway? You know, Nintendo's being targeted because of the money they have and the money they have made. This is nothing new. I don't think this is anything to be scared of or worry about. I mean, that's just my take on it. Interesting news. A lot of people aren't aware that this is going on, or that the previous lawsuit was dropped, because I've seen a lot of people still questioning and wondering what was going on with that Game Vice lawsuit. Did they settle? Are they still in court? No, the lawsuit was dropped, and then this one was just recently brought into the investigation steps with the US. So it's still early. See what happens with that. I'm curious. Who knows? But like I said, I don't think there's anything to worry about. This is nothing new with companies who have had success and people who have not had success jumping at them to try to get a little piece of that pie, a little taste. But I do appreciate you guys stopping in. You know, drop a comment down below. I love the Nintendo Switch. I don't want to see nothing crazy happen. Like I said, I don't think there will. But do you think There's a possibility something will happen here. Do you think Nintendo infringed on Game Vice's patents? I don't know, but one other thing before we go. Man, I just heard that Dead Cells is being released for the Nintendo Switch. So you better believe when that comes out for the Nintendo Switch, we're going to be playing the crap out of it on this channel and live streams and whatnot. I did a couple live streams or videos of that, you know, last year when it came out on PC, and the game is flipping amazing. So that is one that is going to be flipping awesome on the Nintendo Switch. I know that's not what this video was about, but it's just in my mind because I'm so excited for it. So thank you guys, appreciate it. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Drop your comments down below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Boom.